Hey guys, my name is SamXR and today I'm playing some tabs and today I'm going to be showcasing this Separatist faction from Star Wars. This is one part from a 4-part series of Star Wars factions I've made using the custom unit creator. So we're going to start with this today and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, starting us off is the regular B1 battle droid. And I just used a skeleton with a vest on and just a regular gun, and then you have the middle part to show what team they are on. What they're good as is they're good as you can have a lot of them easily to swarm the units, but they're pretty weak and they'll pretty much die if you hit them with anything. So like a regular archer arrow or a poacher arrow would be able to kill them. But if there's a lot of them, so you can just take everyone down. So, and it's just a simple design, you just use the skeletons. And these guys are pretty cool. Okay, next is the Droid Commander. Officer, I mean. He has a yellow turban at the, or not turban, bandana at the top to show that he's the officer, and then everything else is pretty much the same except for the gun, which is a heavier pistol kind of thing. And he's pretty good at blocking some of the incoming units in front of B1 battle droids. So if you don't get it, I mean, here it is. If you have some archers here, they'll be able to block some of the fire and kind of save some of the units. So see, they have a blocking, so and kind of deflect some of them and save some of their units. So and they're not that much more expensive, so you can just have them in front of other units. And they're pretty much the exact same stats as the B1 battle droid, so it's just really the blocking and dodging. Next is the heavy B1 battle droid, and it has a little bit more health, and it has a heavier gun and a backpack, so you can really tell. And they're good at kind of pushing back a large group of enemies, so if you have like a squires here, he'll use his machine gun and he'll be able to hold them back for a little bit. But it doesn't have too much more health, so you can't really expect it to survive that many hits. So it'd be like you would have like a small group of them, and then they'll be able to hold off these guys. Remember, because they're so cheap, you're gonna end up using a lot of them, that it might get laggy with all of the bullets that have to render in and stuff like that. Okay, next is the Droid Hovercraft. This one's kind of funny one. I just made a kind of a unit that kind of hovers and kind of looks like the hovercraft from the movies. I'll show a picture of it on the next slide. But I just put an officer that kind of rides it, and it's kind of a supporting unit that can travel fast and kind of take out small groups. So if you like put some small groups on here, they'll be able to travel quick and take them out. So if you go here, it's the hovercraft that actually shoots. So, but they're not that good, so you can't really expect them to do that much. Oh, that guy just shot in the ground. But of course they're hovering, so melee units are gonna have a hard time like dealing with them. But I mean, they'll hold themselves off. Wow, they're shooting so many people through the floor. But yeah, they're kind of just supporting units. You'll put them on the side to like take off stragglers from the other enemy. Next is the Super Battle Droid, and I used the halfling model and then just put like kind of armor to give you that Super Battle Droid, like that upper body stuff. The look they kind of have. I'll show a picture again. I mean, you kind of have to use the imagination on some of these, you know. But they're pretty strong. They can hold off a lot of units. They're kind of like the heavy battle droid, but they're a lot more heavier. They have exploding and just a regular one. Well, I don't know why they only shot one of them. But these guys, you kind of want to place them in the back. They have a pretty far range. So this is kind of what you want to do. You have a bunch of B1 battle droids, and then you have some in the back, and then they'll help with a lot. They'll give an extra fire. I mean, oh, they just took someone out from their own side, but they'll add a lot of fire, and they'll be able to do a lot of damage from the back. So that's kind of what their deal is. The next unit is the rocket battle droid, and he kind of looks kind of funny, you know. It looks the same as the other one, but these guys are basically the super battle droid, but they have a rocket, so they can hold off a little bit more bigger groups on the front lines. And yeah, you kind of want these guys in the front because they can only use their rockets at close range, like that. But they're pretty strong, but they don't have like as much health. But they'll probably be able to take out a large group of enemies in the front as long as they live. The next droid is the commando droid. I mean, so these guys are really big. They're bulky. I just put the clothes on so it kind of matches their color in the shows. And the only really way to tell that they're on which side is the coloring right there, I guess. I didn't really think of that part. But you also have these parts there. But these guys can take out small groups of enemies that are just like wandering around. They're pretty strong. So if like maybe like a 5 group here, another group here, they're kind of like the other one, but they're a lot stronger. So they have like a small machine gun, and they have their sword. These guys are really strong, so when they run out of ammo, they'll dive in, and they can do a little damage with the swords and do a little kick. But these guys are pretty strong. You'll just want to have a few of them to take out some of the enemies in the front. But you don't want them to go into a crowd because they're really bad at dealing with crowds. Because their guns don't have that much ammo in them, so they'll have to reload, and the reload kind of takes a long time. The next one is the Droid Ship. And I told you guys you're going to have to kind of use your imaginations. It kind of looks like the one in the movies, I guess, if I have a picture, if I remember to put a picture. But it's kind of cool, you know. I just use a halfling again, and then kind of get that ball shape, I guess. It's kind of like a TIE fighter, which I'll show in the next episode, hopefully. But they have a rocket, and they're actually pretty good units. You can have them hover, which means that these guys are going to have a hard time fighting them. But they turn into... Okay, wait, I want to talk about this part. They turn into bats so that they have a... It turns them into, like, dog fighters in the air, which is really cool. I want to actually show that first. So if you go like this, you can have a few, maybe like 6 of them. And then you have them in the air. And they'll kind of like swoop around and turn back into bats and then like fly around. And it's really cool. They'll shoot your rockets at each other. And it looks like red team won. And it's pretty cool. It's really fun to watch, especially when you have like a land troops fighting at each other at the same time. But that's kind of the reason. They just have a rocket and some blasters, but they're overall a pretty good unit. The next unit is General Grievous, and he actually looks pretty cool. I just gave him some armor to make him look like really bulkier than normal B1 battle droid, and I gave him his cape and 2 lightsabers. He can soak up a lot of damage and can put a lot of damage, and I also gave him the enrage ability, which means he'll be able to stay on the battlefield a lot longer. So he's not like the best fighter, but he can like hold off a lot of people at once. Like he just took out all those people at once, and while he's distracting them, all the B1 battle droids will be firing at him from the side. And there goes his enrage ability, and he just pretty much took out everyone there. And that's pretty cool. So, and yeah, it's pretty cool. He can do a lot of damage and hold off a lot of enemies. The next unit is Emperor Palpatine, which is really only at the end, and he wasn't really part of the Separatists, but you know what I mean. I just wanted to put him there since he was part of the prequels too. I couldn't really do a lot with his outfit. You know, he's kind of just has a robe and stuff. And I didn't want to give him the lightsaber because I thought in the other movies he's more like he didn't really use his lightsaber a lot. So I just gave him the lightning. And he's really good at taking out groups with his lightning. And he also has the Thor lightning, which allows him to take out a bunch at once. I'm not sure why they like look at that. He just one-shotted like all those units. He's like the old Zeus from the beginning of the game. But he's really strong. I'm not sure why the computer maxed his price at 2,800 because he's really strong. Uh, but he can pretty much one-shot all like fires and that kind of health. But yeah, he's pretty strong and pretty good unit. The last and final unit is Count Dooku, and what his character is, he's a really good dueler. So, and he has the Thor lightning as well instead of the hand stuff because it was easier to use his lightsaber in that case. But if we put a bunch of squires, he should be able to take out at least most of them. Oops, I kind of took him out. So if we do that, his lightning takes out already half of them, and he does the Shogun kind of dodging back and forth, and he does a lot of damage and can like hold off a lot of enemies at once. But he's probably not going to be as good when he's like deflecting blaster bolts. He wouldn't be as good as that. But actually, that's all there is. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and these factions will always be on the unit creator. Just type in Star Wars, and or if you want to get this faction, you'll just have to type in Separatist, and it should show up on the factions tab. And that's about it. So if you like this video, press the like button, and if you really liked it, press the subscribe button if you want to see more of this. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.